I got a question from a member of MCrider, Donald, and I thought it would make a great topic for this week's MCrider video. Donald asks, I have a question on how to ride very steep switchback roads heading up mountainsides. My wife and I went up to Mount Nebo in Arkansas, and it has some 18% grade up the side of a mountain, and the switchbacks were very narrow and steep. So a lot of riders struggle with steep inclines either up or down, and more than anything else, these roads test your technique and understanding of riding a motorcycle. Some of the riders already have the skills to deal with situations like this, they just don't realize it yet. I didn't have any video of me riding mountain roads with switchbacks, but I did face a similar circumstance riding in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Their downtown area, they've got some tight roads with some steep inclines that require the same set of skills to negotiate as the mountain roads. So I've got a lot of exercises in the field guide that can help you develop the tools needed to ride like I was in Eureka Springs and what you would need riding tight mountain roads with switchbacks and many other situations that you'll find on the road. The field guide has training exercises that any rider can practice on their own on any open parking lot, and it doesn't require a huge parking lot to practice these skills. You can often find a church lot. School lots work well, elementary school lots, or especially a school stadium lot. Just use a small out-of-the-way area to practice the field guide exercises on. If you're having trouble finding something like that, open up Google Maps, scan for parking lots and satellite view, just search around your area, and you might be surprised at what options are available to you. In addition to the training exercises, you'll get access to the forums with riders and instructors from all over the country that are willing to help you brush up on your skills or just talk motorcycles. You can also get ad-free MCrider videos, reflective decals, and more. You can become a member of MCrider at mcrider.com/member. So the problem with riding up steep inclines, especially if the road has tight switchbacks, is momentum. So the problem's worse on a large touring motorcycle, and then it's compounded if you've got a passenger on it and bike full of luggage, because that adds to the weight and the more momentum you need to keep going up the hill. So the problem occurs when you approach those tight switchback corners and you need that certain amount of momentum to keep the motorcycle moving forward, but maintaining that momentum makes those tight corners difficult to navigate. So what are you supposed to do? What's the trick, or what's the magic formula to navigate a road like this? Well, if you've ever completed a slow ride exercise or a U-turn with correct technique, you already have the skills that you need to navigate a road like this. If you don't have those skills, let me point you back to the field guide where you can learn them. But at its core, the technique is clutching the friction zone, a little bit of pressure on the rear brake, so just steady light pressure on the rear brake, and turning your head and looking where you want the motorcycle to go. So, like I said, I got to experience this a little while riding in downtown Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Probably not quite 18% inclines, but it was steep enough to test your technique. These roads were steep, slow, and you had the potential of a pedestrian or car moving into your path at all times, so there was often a need to stop quickly without rolling backwards down the hill in the process. So on these tight turns with steep grades in Eureka Springs, I was using the clutch in the friction zone, a little bit of throttle, so steady throttle, a little bit of rear brake, and looking where I wanted to go. This solves quite a few problems for the rider. It allows the motorcycle to maintain that forward momentum you need to negotiate the corner and maintain balance. It allows you to control the speed with the clutch and the rear brake. If you try to control the speed with the throttle alone, it's going to be very difficult to do, just like on a U-turn. If you try to do a U-turn with the throttle alone, the motorcycle's going to jerk and lunge forward, and it's going to throw you off balance and make it much more difficult. And because you already have your foot on the rear brake, if you lose forward momentum for some reason, you can easily straighten the motorcycle out and come to a stop. If you need to start out again from that stop on a steep incline, just keep your foot on the rear brake, clutch in the friction zone as you ease into the friction zone, and the motorcycle wants to start pulling forward, then you can let off the rear brake and move up the road without losing any momentum or rolling backwards down the hill. All of these skills are found in the field guide. Sometimes we just need to apply them to slightly different applications out on the road. So I hope this video was helpful and answered Donald's question. I know many other riders have struggled with this same scenario as well. especially if you're like me in Texas and you don't see a whole lot of mountain roads very often. So figuring out the proper technique when you get into these situations requires a little bit of knowledge and experience. Till next week, guys, it's Kevin with MCrider, and I'll see you on the road. See that video on the left of the screen? YouTube hand-selected that video just for you. Click on it, find out why YouTube wants you to watch this MCrider video.